Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Madani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi.
That's me.
And the Carabao-filled Tony O.
Morning, boys. Carabao-filled? Do you have me mixed up with I'm definitely not.
No, I look. You told me before we started recording that you retired. I decided to try to hand you a little bit of energy, a sweet little sip of Carabao for you. But clearly, you have thrown it back in my face.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you've had stronger starts there. Carabao-filled is.
Hey, I was listening to how he pronounced his name. So I can next time I do it, I can pronounce it very, very properly.
Tommy, how many years have you known me?
Incredible, incredible.
Well, yeah. I gotta.
Uzer Madhani.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. So pay close attention.
How do you not pronounce my name properly?
He's just
it's been over half a decade.
He's been avoiding pronouncing your name for years. It's just like. Uzi,
maybe
is that what you've been calling him?
Maybe I never said it.
He just calls me Uzi the entire time.
I
just refuses to.
My entire life, just There's no last name.
I'm like Ronaldinho. Don't need a last name.
Hey, we don't call Kepa by his last name either, do we?
Just Kepa. I say his last name.
No, you say the last name?
Yeah.
He's got a lovely last name.
Yeah.
Arrizabalaga. What a great last name. And what a great penalty.
Do you say Ariza or Arita?
I think it depends on where in Spain or where in the Spanish world you are.
He's Basque, right?
Depends on if he's from Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that game and that penalty.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna start there.
Tommy,
we're gonna start right there. We don't want to. Wait, we don't want to start at the beginning of the game. Can we go to the penalty?
No. We're going straight to the highlight of the game. Kepa putting one through the uprights for 3 points. A bit late on the Super Bowl, but
see, I think you start from the substitution.
Yeah. Can we start there? Can we start there with that? Because listen. The first time that I was kind of aware of this tactic was when Van Gaal did it in the World Cup, and he brought in Tim Krul for was it Jasper Cillessen was the keeper, I believe, at the time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And it worked, right? He came in. He was a better PK saver, and it worked, right? Yeah. So, honestly, I know is there you mentioned Tuchel's done this before with Kepa. What was it? The European Super Cup?
I believe in the Super Cup, yeah, against Villarreal.
And it worked. So it's we won. We won the European Super Cup.
But you might very well have won without.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. I don't have his stats of how much better he is at Mendy at saving PKs. I don't have that stat. I wish I did. But I don't agree with the decision.
It'd be a shame if you did a little bit of research before coming on.
It's not out there. Maybe they hid it. They hid the information.
It's readily available.
But honestly, when I saw him, like he got up from his chair and they were showing the cameras from him, like it was like 122nd minute or something. I'm like, no, they're not doing this, are they? There's no way. Please, God, no. Because Mendy had a fantastic game. He was so good.
I think
he also
what really broke.
He also just won a penalty shootout with his country, like a major penalty shootout.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I think what might have really broken Kepa was the back-to-back penalties where he got Panenka by Fabinho and then decided to stand on one side with Van Dijk, dive to the corner he was standing on, and still not get to the ball.
That was a shot. That was a shot though. Like I don't think anyone's safe in that one. That was a rocket.
But it just shows that he's not staring.
If you're gonna do that as a goalie and you still concede after showing like down one side that much, like I come on.
I think the
who's gonna take you seriously?
Who was it? Fabinho. He's like you said with the Panenka. That one absolutely shot his confidence. He's like the fact that that happened to him.
Just did to him what Andrea Pirlo did to Joe Hart in the Euros all those years ago.
But the thing with this is like a lot of these penalties, I think the worst one I saw was Timo Werner's. He got lucky boy. That
Keller should have had two. He should have had two penalties.
Yeah. Wait, which was the other one? Which was the other one?
Who took the first one for Chelsea? Do we remember?
The first one was who came out first?
Was it Kovacic? No, I can't remember.
Kovacic. No, Kova subbed off.
I can't remember who it was now, but he should have had it, honestly.
But the thing is, most of those penalties I thought were pretty, like, the keepers were kind of diving a bit early, but they were all pretty good penalties for the most part. Give or take a couple, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
the thing with penalties is it's psychological, right?
It was Marcos Alonso was the first one.
Yes, it was Alonso. And yeah, Keller went the right way. It wasn't right in the corner. And you feel, the thing with that Tim Krul substitution is he was a renowned penalty specialist, right? So if you know that, then mentally when you see him warming up and then coming on, like, they made a big deal of it. He was warming up for a long time. Like, Louis van Gaal, he made like a whole scene about the fact that Krul was coming on, right? So psychologically it has an impact. Kepa's not, like, he's known in England for being bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Mendy's arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, and you put Kepa in net, and it's
you just know somewhere out there Maurizio Sarri is just lighting up a cigarette and leaning back and just enjoying life right now.
That whoever put that put his face on the screen on the scoreboard as right at that moment when Kepa was taking the penalty, like, that was a great,
beautiful.
Great moment.
You know, so I did find the stat for Kepa, and it says here that Kepa players score on Kepa on penalties about 70% of the time, and against Mendy it's 94%. So there's actually a bit of a difference there. So I can get it that that's why the sub was made, but you gotta also take into the kind of the gameplay into effect there. But you know what? That was an intense penalty shootout. I think it was 22 shooters.
When you have 21 penalties taken and scored, it means that none of the players felt any pressure, and the goalkeepers had no presence. Like, the only penalty that was missed was kicked out of the stadium. I'm sorry.
It was a goal kick. Yeah, pretty much a goal kick. Yeah,
it's a great goal kick.
It would have been cool if they had once they exhausted all the players, if the coaches then have to then take a shot each. It would have been great to see Klopp and Tuchel out there having to lace up the boots.
Who are you backing?
Tuchel, actually. Yeah.
Money's on Klopp.
I don't know, man. I think Klopp would bury it.
Yeah, like, smash it down the middle and hobble off, punching his Klopp punch. Hey, listen.
We had Chelsea a game though, right? Well. Yeah, we had a game.
Chelsea played.
It was a pretty good game before the shootout.
Yeah.
We should probably, like, that first half was pretty electric in terms of the pace of the game, the intensity, the chances, especially the Pulisic chance near the start of the game. Should bury that.
I mean, like, between Pulisic in the first half and Mount in the second half, I don't know how Chelsea haven't scored these chances.
Just one-on-one with a keeper, and you just have to score in the situations. I think Mount had another one where there's some great passing build-up, and he made a good run into the top of the 6-yard box. And he just had it was tough. I get it. You guys are saying, like, it's coming at him a bit quick, but he puts that on target. Yeah, the volley.
He needs to score that. He's
still got to score that chance, right?
So the second chance he has, and like at the start of the second half, is
that's worse.
That's
way worse.
Oh yeah, in the cup final.
Yeah,
Trent is terrible at defending.
I agree.
He's not bad. He's garbage at defending. Like, I don't know what he's doing. He sees Mount. He sees that the player has time on the ball, and he makes a decision to play. He just doesn't follow him. It's, man, I don't know. Like, he's a wonderful footballer, but yeah, he just fundamentally he has no idea how to defend, like at all.
We took advantage of that. Like that, you can clearly see that was our strategy was to play
100%.
that ball in that space where Trent left, and it didn't work in the first half because we just kind of were overhitting our passes, and but like in general it worked, and it was like we got chances from there, we got space from there. Alonso found space as well. So, and then on Liverpool's end, they had Luis Diaz running havoc against Chalobah and on our left side, like. And then when Reece James came on, he was running havoc against Reece James. You see that nice little move he put over him?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I feel like Luis Diaz, I mean, he was doing no-look passes the entire game. I feel like that inflated his rating a bit. Like, listen, he's a terrific player, but yeah, and he was very busy. I felt like Liverpool offensively were quite ineffective in this game. Like, other than Sadio Mane had a really good chance, which
stunning save, absolutely
save.
Stunning save.
Yeah, he not only gets up quickly, but he gets up in a way that just closes the angle, and yeah.
And you're telling me he couldn't do that once in the PK final? He would have saved one of those PKs. We would have won the damn thing.
Yeah, Chelsea played really well.
Kai Havertz had a really good game, I thought.
Excellent. What do we make of Havertz starting?
I love it. I think Lukaku's found his place in the team.
He's got to be the starting center forward / false nine at this point.
Yeah, I agree. He was fantastic. He plays the role in the way I think Thomas Tuchel wants that role played, right? Like, he drops in really well.
You saw how he was facilitating Mount and Pulisic, coming inside and running behind, right?
Yeah, making those runs into the channel, making it difficult for the center backs. He pulled Van Dijk out of position so many times, leaving Matip and Trent to cover the center. And as we've already spoken about, Trent's not the best at defending in general. And
Tony, would you say that Havertz a really good effect on the team?
Wow.
No. Tony, don't take that one.
Don't.
That was bad. that was bad.
Come on, I know you had better than that.
Do I?
Wow, that's really.
Look.
Listen.
Almost as bad as Trent.
What was it? Keita. How does he not get a red card for that challenge?
Because he played the ball.
All balls.
All balls.
Eh? Balls.
I loved your reaction in the group chat, Tony. It's fantastic. When Ozil brought it up,
I made the exact same joke in the group chat, and Tommy just keeps going. And 5 minutes later, realizes what's been said.
I was rewatching the highlights. I was just more in a rage. Like, look at this damn call did not go our way, and I don't know. I think the ref, in the sake of keeping it kind of a fluid match, he maybe wasn't making the best calls out there. But overall, guys, like, this was a great final. Even for I don't remember the last 0-0 that was this exciting. 4 goals chalked. Oh yeah, Lukaku. Can we talk about how I thought this year this was supposed to be in the benefit of the attacker?
It's never happened. That is the rule. That was the rule change. But as ever with these rule changes, it's so ambiguous that they never really get applied. Because, Lukaku looks onside. Sure, his shirt sleeve is offside. But if you're getting to that point, I feel the spirit of the law has been forgotten in that it's supposed to prevent goal hangings. Not supposed to... Yeah, no one planned for it to be put in this detail, but hey, if you're going to do this, you might as well just have technology and remove all subjectivity away from it. But look, it was a great finish as well.
It's a shame. It's a shame because Lukaku did so well on that.
Yeah.
But also, we can continue pushing the anti-Lukaku agenda. So, I'm not opposed.
Yeah, I would love to see him on the right. We had that discussion earlier in the week. See him on the right side, playing with Havertz, but I think at this point, I don't see how this ends well for both Lukaku and Chelsea. They just seem to be. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in a cup final and the striker they spent 100 mil on is on the bench,
115.
115, yeah, okay. So there's enough right there that tell you like maybe there's no future for Lukaku here. But yeah,
I guess in the end, it's congrats to Liverpool for winning the Carabao Kep.
it's
Come
getting
on,
worse,
Zach.
Tony.
Come
Tony, it's
on,
getting worse.
Zach. What the fuck? Now you're not even trying. Like, Jesus. Oh my days. It's like,
Hopefully Zaire can recover and bring one back later on.
No, don't encourage this shit. Bury it. Bury it.
Boys. We did have some Premier League games this weekend as well. And I guess there's no better way to bring my mood back down than to talk about Man United 0, Watford 0. I mean, we had a great 0-0 earlier. This was not nearly as good, mostly because United absolutely battered Watford, but couldn't finish a thing.
Yeah, Ronaldo with that great chance off the post in the first 10 minutes. Bruno had a couple like just shaky finishes.
My favorite one was Bruno doing really well, cutting inside and just hammering a shot that looked destined for the far corner, only to have it blocked by Ronaldo because Ronaldo stopped running. He just stopped moving. It looked like he'd glitched out. Someone turned him off and on again.
Yeah, they had that moment as well where there was a 2-on-1 with the keeper, and Bruno shot
it. Yeah, he should have passed it to Ronaldo.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't mind him shooting that.
I mind when you don't score.
But he has to score. He has to score it.
Yeah, because it's a terrible shot. It's a great height for Ben Foster, who had a good game, we should say. But yeah, they just look really stressed in front of goal. We keep saying that Ronaldo and Bruno, like we were saying earlier, they don't work well together. I don't think that's true anymore. I think they're making a really effective.
They're making a load of chances.
Yeah,
if you look at the XG, United are creating a load of chances now. They've forgotten how to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since have you ever seen Ronaldo of all people short on confidence in front of net? It's just so odd to see. He's not sorting his feet out. He's not getting good contact with the ball. And you think that's going to come soon. But it's just weird seeing Ronaldo like that.
The offside goal just kind of sums it up. Ronaldo at his best, he slows down, he assesses the situation and times his run. He times his run perfectly. He looks so desperate to get into a goal scoring position. Yeah, it's a big blow. Watford at home has to be a win for United, and yeah.
The thing is, Ronaldo, he looks like a 37-year-old striker. That's what it is.
I don't know if it's an
age issue. He looks like. Well, no, I'm not saying it's necessarily an age issue, but he just looks like an old striker now, where he's cheating the extra yard.
Yeah,
he's a player that's been called offside the most in the Premier League this season by a solid 5 or 6.
Yeah, he's not a guy that has 90 minutes. I don't think anymore in him. You know what I mean? You can't be playing this guy 90 minutes.
Our issue is also we just don't have any other forwards right now. Cavani's hurt. We have no other center forwards.
And you guys have a rough patch ahead
of you,
right?
if you guys aren't using Lukaku, could we borrow him for a week?
You would want Lukaku back. Are you sure? I thought you said you were loving.
I don't. Not really. Not really.
No, you don't
not really.
Want him back.
I don't want him back.
But what is it for you guys? City next. Who else?
Our next 4 games are City, Spurs, Atletico, and Liverpool. So you guys are gonna have a lovely month on the podcast.
See, this is a strange thing with United, right? I could easily see them picking up a win or two in that run. you've done it previously where you've been garbage against the teams you should beat, and then you just put in a big performance. Like, I don't know. You do still have talented players. Bruno, Pogba.
We are just a fancy West Ham, aren't we?
Hey Tony, they got that 1-1 draw in Madrid, so they have a shout out in the Champions League, possibly.
They have been
God
worse
bless
at
Anthony
home,
Elanga.
Oh, what a miss! Jesus Christ.
I mean, like, I'd rather see if the kid misses one. Whatever.
I'm not having this. You guys keep doing this. Like every time Elanga bottles a chance, like he's a kid. No, he's not that young. Score the fucking chance.
I thought he played really fucking well.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Great. Score the fucking chance. Like, it's a terrible miss after a brilliant play by Pogba. No, I'm not having it. I see it too much with Elanga. He's got no composure. Really good player.
He's not a striker.
Like, I mean, be a striker.
He's not a finisher.
Like the goal in Spain, fantastic. Absolutely scuffs it. Like he scuffs it and it completely
that goal
flat
is on.
foots up like.
Oh, he places it in the right spot. So that's all he needed to do in that one.
Okay. Did you guys see Oblak's positioning on that goal? He pretty much left the whole net open. There's no way you're missing that one.
What was the stat you read out?
Put it in the corner. Put it in the corner.
What was the stat you read out a couple of weeks ago? 27% save completion. Yeah, that explains it.
Hey, and look at that. Elanga brought it down further because that was our only shot on target in that game.
Yeah.
There were 2 shots on target in the Atletico game, one for each team. Both went in.
Wow. How sad is that? 2 ex-great teams. Yeah.
We love the Champions League, don't we? But good point for Watford in the end in this one. Bringing it back to the Prem. They need wins, but draw away against a team chasing top 4. Probably take that.
Yeah, I think they have they have a little bit of life in them potentially to maybe make a run to get out. I mean, it's gonna be hard for sure. Out of all the teams fighting there, you'd bank on them to being the one that gets relegated. But hey, they got a point. You take it, and then you go game by game, right?
I mean, a team that did not pick up any points was Leeds United because they got absolutely thrashed 4-0 by Spurs. Could have been 10, honestly.
Jesus,
it was that bad.
November. Just looking at the stats. I'm sorry.
Was their last win the win against us?
Oh no, there's a win in there from
Watford beat Villa like 2 weeks ago.
So one win since November. That was not against you. Don't I was against Leicester. But
oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But Tony, we've moved on. It's Leeds Spurs.
Okay. I just didn't want to talk about Spurs.
When's the last time Leeds won? There's a question.
20 goals conceded in February alone. I'm a big Bielsa fan, but
they can't defend.
Yeah.
It's done. Bielsa has officially been sacked, and it's just obscene.
There.
Well, it's also, you look at some of the goals they concede, like the Diego Llorente's defending for Kulusevski's goal is just, he just runs past him. He's so focused on his man that he just completely ignores the ball and runs past the guy carrying it. Some of it is just, it's suicidal defending.
So this new guy they're bringing in, what's his name, Jesse Marsh, is he the right man for the job? Is he going to solve the defensive woes that Leeds have?
Apparently his issue at RB Leipzig was he wasn't very good at organizing the defense.
Match made in heaven.
Yep.
Yeah.
More 4-0 wins to hand out. Like they might actually go down.
Well, they're in the worst form in the league. Like they were in maybe 11th earlier, like maybe even 10th earlier in the season, and yeah, they just. The thing is, when you look at their players, they have maybe 2 outstanding players in Rafinha and Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yeah.
But the rest of the squad is pretty awful. right? Like,
I think
championship
the
level at
injury to
best.
the injury to Calvin Phillips is absolutely ruining them.
And
That's
Bamford
true.
too, right? Bamford's still out, or he's not playing, is he?
No.
Yeah.
I think
Bamford's
he's
out
back.
as well.
Oh, is he out still?
No, he's out.
So
He's
they've had,
out.
they're two out of two of their 4 key players are out. That's a big miss. Yeah.
It's hard for them to pick up Calvins without Phillips.
Moving on. One of Kane's better games, I think.
I got Tommy.
No.
Got one.
I laughed at Tony's. Just like, I'm out of here.
Nope.
Moving on.
I'm taking that as mine.
Do not take
so,
that as there. You're better than that.
Nope. I have already taken it. I am
We
not.
are learning today.
I am not.
He is not. He is not better than that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Tottenham, Tony, Conte came out midweek. I don't know if you guys saw his press conference after they lost to Burnley. He was like, he was harsh. He blamed the players for like being inconsistent. He's like, he actually questioned himself. He's like, am I? Can I motivate these guys anymore? Like,
No, he didn't question himself.
This is just Conte drama.
Did you hear
This is just Conte drama.
If you heard the entire thing, he's like, they've changed coaches every time. They've changed backroom staff every time. Only thing that doesn't change is the players. That's what he said. And every year they achieve nothing. Like, imagine being bantered by your so-called celebrity coach. It's mental. Twice now. What was it? Mourinho was talking about football heritage when he came to Tottenham.
Yeah, they both said the same thing. Where he's like,
exactly.
you gotta play like you're cunts, and then this guy says you gotta play like you want to kill someone on the pitch. So they're trying to inspire some fight in this team. We'll see if Leeds is Leeds. You can't really make too much of Tottenham by beating Leeds, but we'll see what they do their next game week.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if Kane keeps up the form that he's been in recently, that'll go a long way to helping them. We know it's just Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds doesn't count. His last game was against Burnley, and he was back to being garbage. So, yeah.
Game before that, he was great against City, though.
That was an addition. He's trying. Yeah, Tommy was talking about how Kane usually gets injured around this time. So I feel like Kane's just not running to make sure that doesn't happen, and he gets his £100 million move to City, which will probably happen. So, yeah, maybe.
Speaking of City, they picked up a 1-0 win away to Everton, and there is one talking point from this game, one major one, really, and that's the decision to somehow not give a handball for Rodri handling the ball under no pressure.
So who wants
in the penalty area?
Who wants to explain to me?
I think we should, Tommy. I think we're gonna pass this. We'll pass this on to our Premier League referee correspondent.
Oh, okay.
Tony O.
It's funny.
We know how much you love the refs.
It's funny because this weekend I was doing my best to actually support the referees on this. I gave them an out. I said, hey, looks like it was offside in the build-up. And that must have been what VAR saw. And that was the official story by NBC. Now, the Premier League FA have not come out and made a statement that was the case. And we saw no replays of them looking at it through VAR. All we saw them looking at was the very, very, very obvious handball by Rodri. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I wanted to believe that, or I want to believe they called it for offside because the alternative is too crazy. Like, someone's got to be getting fired for that call. I'm sorry. That level of incompetence does not have any place at the highest level. Is there anyone who thinks that's not handball? Anyone?
Rodri, maybe?
Not even Rodri.
No, not even Rodri.
Not even Rodri.
Damn it.
Jesus. Man, and what is he doing? This was the same thing that happened against Tottenham, where they get a late goal, they're gifted a late goal, and they just throw it away through a lapse in concentration. He must have been daydreaming. And then it's like, oh shit, the ball's bouncing. I need to bring it under control. Oh, I've handled it. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
there was no pressure around him too.
Nope.
Like it was one of those like where like if you have a player on your back, sometimes maybe you accidentally hit it with your arm or something. But there's no one around him. He's got all the time in the world, and he just like vaguely like swings his arm towards it. It's honestly it's wonderful to see that from a Premier League player because that's like Sunday League level shit.
I don't think I've seen that at Sunday League level.
I'm sure.
I'm
sure.
At that handball like that, like, yeah.
We've seen worse.
Sunday
We've
League,
seen worse.
they'd be desperate to clear it out. In fairness, they won't be trying to control the ball in that situation. But
Then it would be an own goal. They desperately try to clear
well,
it.
I've seen that. I just City, they got lucky in this game. They didn't play well. They didn't create a clear-cut chance until Michael Keane forgot how to stand. Walk, move.
What was that?
This was such a stupid
Did he forget how to
game.
use his foot? Like,
Yeah, it's Tommy
My
was
God.
saying they should check the betting
check the
patterns.
betting
It's
odds
like-
before that. Yeah.
It's it's like someone like flipped the controls to his feet in his brain, and he clicked on the wrong one.
Yes,
It was just
like
it was
like a
absurd
glitch.
to watch.
Yeah, that was like a glitch. It was it's-
You guys.
it's a shit.
Sorry.
You if you concede that in FIFA, you're breaking the
Oh,
controller.
for sure.
possibly the TV as well.
You guys were saying how United and Rashford, Ronaldo, they look very like stressed in front of goal and kind of just like not taking chances. Watching Everton's forwards in front of goal, like especially Richarlison, they just hit it. They don't really, you don't really see good finishers on that team. They just kind of when they shoot, they just hit it, and they hope for the best. It feels like
Did Everton really have clear-cut chances?
They didn't. I'm not saying they had clear chances. Like when they did get in that area, you like even Gordon. Like we talk about Gordon. He's a great having a great season. Like nice youngster, but these guys when they get near the net, they're just kind of like they're panicking a bit and they're kind of like stressed. You can see it, and they're just shooting. They're not like really like finishing and picking their spots. Like I know Richarlison had one good chance in this game, and he's in like the top of the 6-yard box, and he just smashes it. Doesn't even look up, just smashes it right at Ederson. That's Everton. If they're going to come out of this, relegation battle, because they are in a relegation battle, there's no doubt about it. They're going to need some goals. They're going to need these guys to start clicking in front of net.
I do think this was a very good Everton performance. We should say that. One of the few Frank Lampard defensive displays that I've seen. Really good until it was all undone by Michael Keane. I
mean, I was going to say Lampard's good showing this week didn't only stop on the field. He was in great form in the press conference afterwards, talking about the handball decision.
I do think there's Frank Lampard privilege with that press conference. He can get away with it. He's not going to
Has he been fined yet? Has he been fined
He
yet?
hasn't, yeah. He knows. He's royalty in England. No one's touching him. But he's absolutely right, though.
Yeah.
I can't. But that decision is. What did he label the guy? Incompetent. The VAR official. I mean, how are you not asking the ref to come and have a look?
That's absurd.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. I mean, there were a few more games to go through from this week. One of them was another battle near the relegation zone, and that was Brentford losing 2-0 at home to Newcastle. It was great to see Christian Eriksen back. Got a wonderful reception when he came on, but early red card for Brentford, and it just went downhill from there.
I mean, you both called it, right? I think you both said Newcastle would win.
Yeah.
We were robbed. Well, not robbed, but the game was pretty much over once. Was it De Silva got sent off?
Yeah, Josh De Silva.
Yeah. I think you have to be concerned about Brentford now at this point. They are in... Their form's not too dissimilar to Leeds. If you're...
They need Ericsson and Tony to link up and click immediately.
Well,
You know what?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Tony, you mentioned this before, but after that red card, new Premier League, not new, but new positionally placed Joelinton, the midfield specialist, powerful, nice goal, and then you know what he does? He sprints to the opposite end of the field where all the Newcastle fans are and just celebrates in front of them. It was so awesome to see that.
It was the reverse Adebayor.
The reverse Adebayor.
Yeah.
But what a sort of change. Like this guy was playing striker under Steve Bruce. Couldn't score at all. And now he's playing as a center mid, and all of a sudden he's like,
no, forget couldn't score. He looked like he'd never seen a football in his life.
And look at him now. He's a great center mid. So hats off to him. Hats off to Newcastle. Joe Willock with a nice finish and to seal the game for Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah, that finesse finish on the run. Yeah, he's got great athleticism. He runs really well. And it's really calm in front of goal, Joe Willock. So, happy for him. Yeah, but as I mentioned, concerned about Brentford. They play Norwich next. Have to win that. If they lose that, they are
even if they draw that, I think that doesn't do them any good. They need to win.
They need to win because they're playing Burnley next, who are pretty resurgent at the moment.
I mean... Speaking of Burnley, we might as well. Palace won, Burnley won. Another point away from home for Burnley against a mid-table team, fighting back from 1-0 down.
2 wins and a draw in their last 3. That's they have the best form of the teams down there. Yeah, looks like.
I mean, trading it it helps that Chris Wood has looked rubbish for Newcastle so far because. They absolutely stole a march.
Burgos was excellent again in this game.
It's just, he's perfect for them.
I think he scored. He was offside, but he had a goal chalked up for offside. Yeah. Yeah, great signing. It really was.
Who scored for Burnley in this game?
It was an own goal.
It was an own goal.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
I mean, Palace did come a post width away from winning this one. Zaha, desperately unlucky.
Yeah, he 2 chances in a minute that he made himself. Olise had a fantastic game as well.
Yeah, he's looking like he's coming into a great player.
Yeah, but
Burnley,
they're looking good. They're looking really good. They need to keep this form up, but they are just 1 point away from being out of the relegation zone.
21 points, yeah.
They have 2 games in hand on Leeds.
It's nice to see a team actually taking advantage of their games in hand for once in this league.
I mean, they only had 2 months off. They should be well rested ahead of this running. But,
you look at Brentford, who arguably are in the worst form in the league with Leeds. They played 27 games. They got 24 points. Yeah. Burnley have 21 points. They've only played 24 games. Yeah, that's a type battle right there.
Yeah.
And then Newcastle, they're sitting at 25 points, and
they're done.
You'd think, I think we can safe to say they are kind of distancing themselves now from that group.
Yeah.
Up at the other end of the table, we had a game between 2 outside shots at top 4. West Ham picking up a win against Wolves, and that makes it back-to-back defeats for Wolves. The week after we said, hey, maybe they're a dark horse in this race. Sorry about that, Wolves.
Yeah, the jinx.
Yeah.
The jinx strikes again.
What was it in midweek? A late Lacazette winner. That's a
late own goal.
I'm giving it to Laka.
I'm giving it to Lacazette too.
Yeah. I'm not. Jose Sauce palmed that into his own goal. That's nowhere near on target.
Giving it to Laka.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Is this the Jadon Sancho thing all over again? Is it because I gave Jadon Sancho that FA Cup goal?
No, I don't think Laka is good enough. You think Sancho is good enough, so yeah, I'm just giving it to Laka for his good work. But yeah, concerning the Arsenal game in midweek, it's a huge win in the context of our top four race. Wolves are a really good team when they go a goal ahead. And I said at the time it's a massive test. But yeah, I think, funny enough, of the teams going for that top four spot, I think Arsenal have been the most consistent. You take out that Burnley draw, which felt like a loss. Their form's pretty good. Only other game we haven't won in our last 9 or so was against Man City. So,
I think Arsenal are definitely in the driving seat for that. But in terms of West Ham, I mean, they needed this win desperately because they've been in a rough little spell recently.
Yeah, it's another game where they show up against a difficult opponent. Like, they're really good, it seems, at picking up results in the bigger games. It's just the draws and the defeats that they've had against they had a draw against Newcastle. Even the Leicester game, you can argue they should be winning that, the way the game went. But, yeah.
I mean, Tony, I was gonna say before you got through Ruben Neves, they're not in like the worst form. They've only lost once in their last 5 and 45 points. Man United have 47. It's kind of where we would think West Ham would be, right?
It's just the inconsistency that's a problem. Like, they drop.
Yeah, it's just been it's the drop off from earlier, which is kind of expected with like how Moyes doesn't really like to rotate that much. So, and especially now that the Europa League's coming back, and if he doesn't rotate in that, then it could be fatigue issues.
I think Tony mentioned this before to me, but maybe it's just a byproduct of a really competitive league.
Oh, no, for sure. Look, West Ham are doing really well. Don't get me wrong. Like, the fact that they're in 5th place, games in hand or not, is a testament to the work that David Moyes is doing. Like, I'm just talking about them as a top 4 contender. They've dropped points that they really shouldn't have. And, yeah, look, you look at their form next to Man United, like, it's almost identical in terms of goals conceded. They've even scored more goals. So they're having a really good season. So taking nothing away from them. Yeah. By the way, I noticed, like, in midweek, Ruben Neves, he's a bit of a klutz when he defends. Like, there's a lot of talk about him potentially moving for big money in the summer. That would be a concern. He was the worst player on the pitch against us. And he wasn't great against Sushek in the game. He was targeted by West Ham, basically. And it looks like when his team doesn't have the ball, he's a bit of a liability. So, one to think about. But, by the way, Declan Rice, what a hit. The one that hits the post, did you guys see it?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fantastic strike.
He's some player.
I've come around to, I know I've been critical of him before, but after our last chat about him, I did a bit of a deep dive. He's developed quite a bit from his early days where he was a bit conservative. I think Gary Neville called him a center back playing in midfield. He looks a proper.
I mean, that's what he was at the start, right? Because he started off as a center back, and then they moved him up. Yeah. But it's been great to see him blossom into the player he is.
When we were
million.
When we were linked with him, it was for him to play center back.
I hope that's the link was.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we will. But you talk about Ruben Neves having a big money move potentially. I think it's Declan Rice who we're going to see making.
Oh no, he's moving. People are going to move for him for sure. Declan Rice, Man United. I mean, no.
We're gonna spend an unreasonable amount of money. Another player that's having a really good season is Jacob Ramsey, and Aston Villa broke their little bad run of form that they were in by beating Brighton 2-0 away. Good performance from Villa.
Yeah, really good performance. Who got the first? Matty Cash, yes. Poland superstar.
Polish legend Matty Cash.
New Polish international.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ollie Watkins had a really nice goal as well. After a fantastic ball by Tyrone Mings, the much maligned Tyrone Mings. Yeah.
That time he did something right.
Yeah. Law of averages.
Villa are a good team when they can, play on the counter. That's the thing. Like they're like, I think they're when Jarrett sets them up to like just kind of like soak up pressure, they just play a lot better. Like I think we mentioned the game they played last week, where they just kind of get opened up in midfield. Who was it? Is it McGinn? Is their center mid? I can't remember now.
John McGinn,
yeah, John McGinn. Yeah, and they just kind of like get. Who do they play? Was it Watford they played? I believe. I think
Watford, yep.
Yeah, and they just kind of get opened up. But when they can sit back, like that's a Gerrard special, right? Is he has his defensive teams set back and they play in the counter, and
should be noted that Buendia didn't start this game. It was they've been playing both Buendia and Coutinho lately, and neither of them are great defenders. So adding a bit of pace and intensity in that midfield with Ramsey. Well, I guess really it's Watkins, because I think Buendia plays higher up. But yeah, giving them a base of Ramsey, Luiz, and John McGinn gives them a stronger base to spring from. So
that's a hard working midfield too.
Yeah.
Like that midfield will run its socks off.
Yeah. Exactly.
And our last game is the Friday night one between Southampton and Norwich, which, unsurprisingly to most, finished as a 2-0 win to Southampton.
What a hit.
Chelsea legend Oriol Romeu
featured
with a lovely hit.
Just smashed it in the back of the net.
Love to see it, unless, of course, you're of a Norwich persuasion, in which case, my deepest condolences for this season.
They gone. That's it.
They gone.
Officially.
Is that our entire discussion on this game?
I think so.
They gone. All right. Moving on then. So this entire weekend of games was played essentially against the backdrop of the Russian invasion into Ukraine, and it was really heartwarming to see the solidarity with the Ukrainian people from not just Premier League clubs, but all across Europe. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go far to see Yaremchuk getting a standing ovation from Benfica fans. You had the presentation before the game, the City-Everton game, where you had Zinchenko and Mykolenko on each side on the benches, and you had the Wembley Arches getting lit up in Ukrainian colours. Man United and Watford like intermingling and with like a show for peace, and there's countless other things. I believe the Allianz Arena was lit up in Ukrainian colours as well. But there are wider effects on football due to this as well. The Champions League final was supposed to be played in St. Petersburg this year. That, like a lot of other sporting events, has been moved away from Russia. I believe the CL final is moving to Paris, if I'm not mistaken. It's a difficult time right now for the people of Ukraine, and it's good to see the sports world kind of come together and back those people.
Well, good move by UEFA for doing that swiftly and moving that final, because there's no way you can play that game. Same can't be said for FIFA with their decisions. FIFA,
we'll get to that in a second, because I believe a day or two ago. Now the issue is Russia are still in World Cup qualifying. They're in the European playoff system and have been drawn in a bracket with Poland, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. Now, all three of those countries have refused to play Russia due to this invasion of the Ukraine. And they've said under no circumstances will we play any game at any level against Russia. This has also been backed by a few other FAs as well. I believe England, and Wales, and Scotland they've all come out and said this. The women's European Championships, I believe, are being held in England this summer, and I believe Russia have qualified for that, so we will keep an eye on that to see what happens there. But World Cup qualifiers are in March, and these three teams in Russia's bracket have straight up refused to play a game against Russia And then FIFA made their decision for sanctions. And Tony, would you like to walk us through what the good people at the good organization that is FIFA have decided?
Well, I mean, yeah. So basically, Russia are playing under a new name. They didn't even go the
they pro evolution Russia's name.
Well, I was gonna say
they're like this will
they bottled it because they tried to pro evo the name, and then I don't understand. I really don't. If you're gonna change the name, you're still leaving Russia in there. Like it's not like they went Eastern Europe national. Like it's what is it? Russian
the football union of Russia.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, they consulted with the IOC on this, and they decided to do exactly what the IOC has done in the Olympics, whereas like Russian Olympic Committee or something like that, because Russia is currently quote unquote banned for doping scandals.
Yeah.
So they participate in the Olympics under Russian Olympic Committee. So FIFA have gone down the exact same route. They saw how everyone looked at the IOC and said this is bullshit, and they're like, we would like some of this.
Yeah, they basically said so no home matches for Russia, and they have to play on neutral territory with no fans, and they can't have any anthem played, no flags, and that's about it.
They're trying to flex their muscles on this in a way. Like, that's what it looks like to me. Like some players have been quite vocal on this issue. Wojciech Szczesny came out. He apparently had, his wife I think is half Ukrainian, and so he has family, in Russia and in Ukraine. I think a lot of them have moved back to Poland. It's just, and he's basically the mood in the Poland camp is we're not budging. The same for a lot of other countries. They're not budging. If this continues, then we are prepared to not play at the World Cup. It's as simple as that. And with FIFA's ruling, it's so bizarre how you can take this stance when everybody else is quite clearly
they've given you the stance. Like the other national FAs have given you the stance.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a lot of like you said Szczesny, Lewandowski came out. He said there's no way we can play given the circumstances. And these guys, this is their last World Cup if they were to make it. And it's a big move. And I mean, Poland has been from the outset, they've been kind of like 100%. We're not playing. You got to do something about it. And it definitely seems like they're ready to boycott no matter what FIFA does. If FIFA doesn't change what they kind of came out with now, I'm hoping, more national organizations come out and say, we're also going to do it so that it forces FIFA's hand. And then, hey, maybe we'll see only a Russia versus Qatar final. That's all that happens. They'll get what they want, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. One month of Russia playing Qatar over and over. The beautiful game.
What if this is what's finally? I mean, it's wishful thinking. What if this is what finally gets the World Cup moved from Qatar? It's like everyone just boycotts it, and it doesn't happen.
They're busy. They're too busy trying to boycott Russia right now. They're not focused on Qatar yet. But
that's a whole different.
I mean,
but
I guess we could just hope. We could just hope that FIFA amends their decision. Like, what else can we hope for in that case?
Some things no matter the inconvenience, like I'm sure there are logistical inconveniences. Maybe I don't know. I was gonna say sponsor inconveniences, but at this point, I don't even think that's relevant. Some things are just bigger than football, right? And you hope that someone who has someone in that, I don't know, leadership committee sees some fucking sense.
Isn't Wenger in a leadership role in FIFA?
Get Wenger in there. Get Wenger in there.
He's in an
talk some sense.
He's in an advisory role. But
actually, you know what? After Wenger's nonsense about having World Cups every 2 years, I don't think I don't think he's the right man to solve this.
I don't know why the fuck he ever took that job. And
Just to break your heart, Tony. Break your fragile little heart.
No, I'm fine. He's done enough. Let
Give
him
it time.
let him make his back.
Do we want to mention about the Chelsea situation and Abramovich?
Yes. Yeah, so the situation with Roman Abramovich is I guess interesting one, for the lack of a better word, because he's a big old friend of Vladimir Putin, isn't he? And at this point, I don't think you can be a billionaire in Russia without being friends with Putin.
Yep.
But his ownership of Chelsea has come under a bit of scrutiny during all of this, because there was talk about sanctions against Putin allies and stuff, and Abramovich is very much one of those. I believe what he tried to do is hand off control of Chelsea to the Chelsea's charitable foundation.
Yeah.
To
the trustees.
In which, yeah, that's what it was. And well, I mean, that's handing over control in name only, really. I don't think anyone believes that Abramovich is actually giving up control. He's just trying to insulate the club from any effect that some sanctions, if they do come, would have on him. But I believe as of this morning, the charitable foundation have not yet agreed to take control of the club, as per BBC Sport. So I don't know where this leaves things with Abramovich and Chelsea at this moment. I don't think any sanctions have been levied against him yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do, I'm honestly not sure what it means for Chelsea Football Club.
See, to me, this just seems like a way for him to just take some heat off him and kind of distance himself from the club until it all blows over, and then, come back to whatever position he was before. It just kind of just like a statement from him and from Chelsea of what they're doing. I don't really think it changes too much of Chelsea, to be honest.
Not in the day-to-day sense.
Not in the immediate future. It's
unless the UK do something serious and maybe freeze his assets or something like that.
Well, it depends on how long this takes. How long it takes for there to be a resolution as well. Because the longer this goes on, the more the uncertainty is with Chelsea, as you said. Because he is a major asset, right? Chelsea is a major asset in his portfolio. And that is always the fear with these ownership structures. There's too much of a single point of failure.
I mean, well, Abramovich also has a 1.5 billion loan that he's given to Chelsea, so...
Yeah, it places a lot of financial pressure on Chelsea if, as you said, the UK decide to impose stricter or any strict measures. There's also been some pretty strange reporting on Abramovich, which...
Did you guys see that this morning? That he's apparently negotiating peace talks between Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, I saw that right after, what was it? He works for Sky, Kave Solikol, I think his name is, talking about how Abramovich he's not involved with politics and Putin. It's, weird, but
it's a messy situation with Roman Abramovich right now.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a shame to see Chelsea in this situation. Well, I guess there isn't a situation yet, but it's a shame that they're going through this uncertainty. Obviously, there are bigger issues surrounding what's going on with the Ukrainian invasion, but just in general, I feel like, I hope there is some sort of resolution to what's currently going on. Some of the reporting on the invasion is all of it really is pretty disheartening. And our thoughts really go out to all the people of Ukraine and anyone who's been affected by this by this invasion, directly or indirectly. We know a few people who have family in Ukraine who have been affected, and yeah, it's pretty devastating. War at any point is pretty devastating, and yeah, we can only wish everyone in Ukraine. Well, we can only hope that there's a quick resolution, and yeah, everyone, or as much as possible, people make it out of this safely moving forward.
Yeah, definitely echo those statements. It's great to see, Europe come together for the most part, in solidarity there. And you saw there's, I'm sure you guys see the images, a lot of demonstrations in major cities, and yeah, people are definitely being vocal about it. And let's not be wrong, there's a lot of athletes coming out and being very vocal about it too. I think you guys mentioned that earlier. So yeah, hopefully this all comes to a swift end.
Hopefully, yeah. Just hoping that Putin and his generals and all those guys, see some sense and this ridiculous nonsense invasion, and stop putting people's lives at risk like this. But I guess on that note, I think that's everything we had to cover today. The usual, please give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Pods, Google, Spotify, YouTube, we're everywhere. And I guess all that's left to say is thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Cheers, guys. Pleasure as always.
Glad you're still with us after that poor shootout.
Well,
and
yeah, I was gonna say, have we found the ball have we found the ball that Kepa shot? Has it been located?
It should be coming back down any day now.
It's probably the trunk of your car, Tommy.
Yes, made it all the way across.
All the other footballs you've stolen.
Found.
He's a footballing kleptomaniac, this man. And thank you for joining me, Tony.
Pleasure as always. Yeah, great chat.
And thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.